that's one thing that I tell a lot of fighters that are young. I say, hey, don't rush it. Be patient and let it come to you. Learn, grow, do everything that you need to do, because once you get to that point, there's no looking back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only way you go back is if you lose, and what is worst case scenario you never want to do.
And even from a public perception thing, if you end up where it is top guy, where you're fighting all those guys, and then you take a step back and fight another guy, that's where the public perception is like, oh, he's cherry picking. So that if you make sure you're ready when you get there, when you get there, you're there.
And I really do feel that we're moving out of that era where guys are gonna take what the heck do you even call it? Not a tune-up fight, but like when you're
lesser
a champion,
fight, cherry picking fight.
Yeah, that we're out of that era now where guys are gonna do that. Guys are gonna step up.
A guy at 147 always trying to do a.
Nah.
You talking about he fought for Melo?
No, he wasn't talking about. But he wasn't talking about Formella. But I mean, I was gonna say, like, even with myself, I wasn't talking about him.
I know.
Even with myself, we have circumstances.
For sure.
Beyond these circumstances, that fight would have never happened.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think that
past that,
I really do believe that we're coming out of that era of guys that are saying, well, I just won the championship. Let me have a few money. What do they call it? A money fight or something? Money grab? Yeah.
Hometown fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think there are circumstances where it will happen. And it's such a reactionary thing in the boxing fan or expert community.
Yeah, it's quick.
Like if anything, thankfully, just to go back to you, everyone knows you're willing to fight anyone. Yeah. So when Formella's announced, nobody was like, oh, Shawn Porter's ducking so-and-so. It was just the circumstances. So you'll have that where everyone else has a fight coming up or somebody's injured or you have a mandatory where these things do happen. So it is something where it's not like somebody's not fighting the guy you want and he's immediately a bum and he's terrified of 7 fighters. I'm
going to tell y'all how that fight happened and then we'll move forward. So around April, my dad calls me and, he's got the gym built up in the backyard and he's like, hey, you got to get back training. And I'm like, all right, I'll get back training, but ain't nothing going to happen, because of the circumstances that we're in. It's COVID and quarantine. I mean, like I leave one quarantine, go to another go right back to. Yeah. So I'm literally thinking nothing's going to happen. And then I start getting calls from all these different reporters. Hey, we hear boxing might come back. How do you feel about fighting without people in the stands, all that kind of stuff? I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. I just fought the Stables. You want me? No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And between the end of April and June, I had this revelation. And I'm like, right now, people need sports. People want to see athletics. Right now, boxing is in a position where we can really catapult our sport.
You got Mike there.
Yeah, I know it's right here. We can catapult our sport. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We can take our sport
to another level.
To another level.
Yeah.
Or if anything, have more eyes on us right now than ever before. So I told my dad, I said, hey, man, I think I want to get back in the ring. And he says, I thought you didn't want to fight. You just getting back in good conditioning and, waiting all this to shake out. I said, listen, I really do feel like God's telling me that I should get in the ring now. I said, right now, no sports are happening. And whenever things do happen for boxing, I think these people need to see something great.
Yeah.
They need to be reminded of what's out there. And I said, I want to be the one to really kick it off and start it off. And even though boxing started in June, we got in as soon as we could. I was trying to get in July. I really was trying to be one of the first guys. And, my dad comes back, hey, we're not going to get this guy. We're not going to get that guy. And then it just turned out that it was Formella. And I looked at the dude and I told my dad, I said, this is not a good look. I said, I'm going to chase this dude around the ring all day because all the film I saw, he just was moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it's just going to look like I'm a bully. And I don't want to look like a bully. I want to look good. He says, hey, if this is all we can get.
That's it.
And if this is what you want, then, so we went on ahead and did it. And turns out I get a guy who's not only not going to use the ring all night the way we expected, but he stood in there, took the fire, tried to release some fire back, and it ended up being like a pretty decent fight. And I said, you know what, this is what boxing needed right now. Yeah. And I just hope that I inspire these other guys to say, hey, bump the no crowd, bump what's going on right now. Let me get in there and do it for my
you didn't
career.
take a step back. You had a great performance.
Yeah. And dude was like 24-0 or something.
And I mean,
like
you're
that.
in there just the circumstances in general, anyone, you're going to be in there with who you can be in there with in a normal year. 2020, as we know, is not a normal year.
Yeah.
So it's something where that's going to happen. Just get in there, do your job, on to the next.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Porter Way Podcast.